In a new tell-all book that is in the process and about to be published by Ian O'Connor, here is the book that we pulled. It is called Belichick. A New York Times bestselling author, Ian O'Connor of ESPN, also wrote The Captain and Arnie and Jack. Good old school names right there, my friends. Okay, so here is the entire scoop and why this is important. This is an excerpt from the book. If you're married 18 years to a grouchy person who gets under your skin and never compliments you, after a while you want to divorce them. A source with knowledge of the Brady-Belichick relationship told Ian O'Connor. And then they continued on. Tom knows Bill is the best coach in the league, but he's had enough of him. If Tom could, I think he would divorce him. According to the book, Brady's family long felt Belichick would push out his longtime franchise player before he was ready to retire. Brady's sister Nancy is quoted telling people that her brother believed Belichick will definitely do to him someday what the Colts did to Peyton Manning. My God. One New England assistant said the general feeling among staff members around the time Garoppolo was drafted wasn't that Belichick's system could make Super Bowl quarterbacks out of all 32 starters, but if you gave us any of the top 15, we could do it, the assistant said. I don't think the coaches view Tom as special as everyone else in football does. Shots fired. Mr. Kraft thinks Tom is the greatest gift ever, but the coaches don't. All right, let's be real about something. Tom Brady is amazing at football. I understand that they had the system quarterback in Matt Castle. They had a good year. They were 11-5. You know what else they did? Missed the playoffs. Tom Brady would not miss the playoffs. Yeah. No matter what. Tom Brady has won a ton of rings. He has gone to many Super Bowls. He has been anointed and won Super Bowl MVP in many of those years. I am not a Patriot hater. I am a Chicago Bears fan who appreciates greatness. I can adore Aaron Rodgers from afar, knowing that my Chicago Bears will probably never have that in my lifetime, because I appreciate the greatness that I see. To know that this relationship is souring for many in Boston, we thought that it was already going to be sour going into this season, but now that we are having all of these excerpts from the tell-all book, clearly what we now know, as I turn to you, Robert, is that Jimmy Garoppolo was a threat. Tom Brady wanted him out. Bill Belichick did it for him, but still the relationship is so sour that after the season, it probably will end, in my opinion.
It reminds me a little bit of what happened with Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson. It's like, who gets the credit or who wants the credit? Like Robert Kraft always seemed like, hey, I don't care. As long as I'm winning rings and making money, I don't care.
Don't blame me.
It seems just reading those excerpts that all Brady wants is just a little affirmation, a little pat on the back from dad. You're great, you're good. And instead what he gets is, I could, give me a top 15 quarterback and I could win a Super Bowl, with them. You're okay, I appreciate you a little bit, but not as much as you want. And I think, Belichick, when you say something like that, hey, I could take a top 15 quarterback, what that is saying is that I am better than the player.
Completely.
And if you're Tom Brady, you can sit there and say, you know something? Belichick's probably fired if Drew Bledsoe doesn't get hurt and I don't come in and save this franchise. He's not being talked about as the greatest coach of all time without Tom Brady. This is not like something where it was like the 49ers where they went from Young and Montana. This is Brady. Yep. And if you took Brady off there, you're not talking about Belichick. So it's the, chicken and the egg type of situation. I don't know if the marriage is going to end only because after you've been with somebody for so long, even if you don't like them, you don't want to start over. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Tom Brady necessarily won't have to start over, right?
Well,
because what's another team that would take, or rather that he would go to that's in a winning position? Right, as much as the New England Patriots.
To me, it's not a situation like Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning broke his neck. If he didn't break his neck, he would have been the coach quarterback until the wheels, fell off.
But he still fell after 3 neck surgeries that they owed me.
Right. So at 41, just think about it. At 41, you're however old Tom Brady, I think he's 41. Mm-hmm. You really want to go to, I don't know, you want to go to Jacksonville, and start, you've been an icon and now you want to go to Jacksonville. That happens remember what happened with Brett Favre and the Jets? Yeah. And the Vikings. It can work, but it's just not the same. And I think the part where he says that I don't want to alienate my legacy, I would rather just put up with my wife than have to deal with these new girls. That's exactly what he's saying. Why I want to deal with these 20-year-olds, I just rather deal with my wife, even if, she doesn't, give me any coffee in the morning.
Right.
Yeah. I said coffee. And
no, I agree. I agree 100%. I don't, even though it's so messy, the relationship that they have now, I don't see that relationship breaking at all. I just feel like they're stuck with each other. And unfortunately, you have marriages where you're stuck with each other, whether it be for the child or whether it be for perception or family, or maybe, like you said, there's 20-year-olds out there, 30-year-olds out there, but I don't see myself in maybe a little happy, but I don't see myself as successful as when I am with you. And I feel like Brady might have more opportunities to go elsewhere, and by more, I just 2 more, and I do see him with Chicago potentially, only because all the other offensive coordinators, he's not one to start over with somebody. No one's gonna wanna start with him when they already have a young quarterback that they've been developing and working with for some time. They're not gonna jeopardize the relationship that they're already building with what they have now than with the Tom Brady who's seasoned, who might end up coaching them at the end of the day.
I would love to see him in Chicago. I don't think it happens. Unless they fire Mark Helfrich and they go with another offensive coordinator. I was just looking up his contract, by the way. It expires in 2020. So he does have 1 more season of this, $15 million each year, $30 million total for 2 years. If he wants to continue doing it, amen. Amen to you. If he doesn't, I think every NFL fan will literally do a backflip because they will see the fall of the Patriots empire.
Do you think Belichick
Because of the relationship that they
No,
have?
if Brady does leave.
Do you think Belichick has the balls to say to Tom Brady, either retire or I'm going to release you?
I mean,
No.
I feel like they've had that conversation, but I don't feel like it's been taken seriously.
No, he never said he was going to release. He gave him, he got rid of.
I mean, we don't know what the internal conversation.
The short
that
answer
they
is
had.
no, I don't.
You don't think
No,
Right, you
of
don't
course
think he
not. You think he wants to start over as much as Tom Brady wants to
See, that's
start
why
over?
it almost seems just from the way the book is. I'm just going off with how the book is written.
Okay.
Is that Belichick wants to get off of that Tom Brady train so he
can prove it?
So he can prove that it wasn't just Tom, Brady. That's why I think.
But what's wrong with
I don't know.
you
I don't
know?
think so. I don't think anything's wrong with it. It's just I'm just going off what the book says.
I understand. I understand. Just like Bill Belichick dealt with the Cleveland Browns, right? He dealt with Nick Saban. He has dealt with poor Patriots teams. Wasn't he with the Jets at one point too? He's dealt, or maybe that was Pete Carroll. He's dealt with some horrible teams and horrible players. Yet why would you want to hit the restart button when you're like already, if you're a dog, you're like 11 years old. Like you already have a great situation. You already know what's going on. You are in a winning situation, winning culture. You're the favorite to win it every single year. At that point, it's just ego.
Well, J. Cole told me that it's always going to be another
told
girl
you
out
personally.
there that looks better than your girl. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going
Say
to
that
be.
again?
It's always going to be another girl out there that looks better than your girl. But that doesn't mean that she's better for you.
Shout out to Love Yours.
Yeah, see, that's J. Cole. So I think that's what Belichick, even though it's Brady's the most beautiful quarterback in the world, he still is always looking. And he thought he had that in Garofalo, but it had came to a head. And they say that Robert Kraft was like, hey, this is not working. Either it's going to be Garofalo or it's going to be Brady.
Right.
And like you said, the owner fell in with Brady, so Garofalo had to go.
Yeah.
But Garofalo was his
Garoppolo.
What
You were saying it with an F.
Yeah, you were saying like Mike Garofalo.
Oh, it's a P, right? Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Hello. Got it. But you get my point.
I get
That's
your
what I'm
point.
saying. So the question is, as Brady gets older, does he look for that new girl if he wants to continue coaching?
Right. Remains to be seen. What we do know is that if he does retire after this season, everything is on the table. Broadcasting, front office, coaching. He could do whatever the hell he wants.
Maybe
He could
better
take
than-
a few years and then come back.
better
to
than
it.
Jason
That's all
Witten.
he has to
Jesus.
do.
Man,
Oh
it's
my
terrible.
goodness. Brian McFadden, by the way, my future nominee for Monday Night Football. Let us know your thoughts. Comment section below. Subscribe to 2IT Sports. Do you guys want full TYT episodes? Yeah. So download YouTube TV and get a 7-day free week trial.